I'm in Texas.
Right on, man. Right on. I'm over on the East Coast, Washington D.C.
All right, all right. Yeah, it's super hot in Texas right now.
Yeah, I
Like
bet.
I got AC, so I'm not complaining. But I mean,
True.
yeah, it's brutal.
All right, man. So we're gonna get started. You're the main speaker today, I'm assuming, yeah?
Yeah, so I'm gonna be here representing the entirety of the team. DTC might pop in, but I don't think he's gonna speak. So I'll be able to
True.
give you the
No.
ins and outs of AniFi world.
Yeah, no worries. All right, let's get the Telegram recording started. Aki's got the stream going. Good afternoon, Whale Coin Talk community. My name is Noah. I'm here today with Mr. Steady Hands, representing the AniFi world ecosystem and play to earn game. Steady Hands, before we get started, give us a quick background of who you are and how you got to be working in the crypto industry today.
So a quick background. I started out, I think, how a lot of people started out, years ago in crypto when it was basically just Bitcoin, around 2011-ish. Messed around with it for a little bit, then basically took a pretty long hiatus from it. And then, of course, by the time I came back, Bitcoin was booming, Ethereum was around, BNB started up. So I originally got into the BNB side when they were first on the Ethereum chain before they moved over and created their own BSC BNB chain, and then kind of followed that path over. And I really started to get involved once BSC, the Binance Smart Chain, started to take off. So me, along with Porus, who is the CEO and founder, have worked together kind of over the last couple of years, and especially over the last 9 to 12 months, specifically focusing on AniFi world and creating a true play to earn game. So that's kind of a little bit of a background to me. I mean, I guess as a side note, I was on the Baby Doge team for probably like right around 9, 10, 11 months. So I've been around the space for a decent amount of time. I always feel like a couple months in crypto is like a couple years in the fiat world. So I guess, I mean, I would by no stretch of the imagination consider myself a veteran. But as far as crypto goes, I've pretty much seen it all, the good, the bad, the ugly, the awesome success, and, the possible heartbreak that it can bring. So at AniFi World, we're looking to basically give people the opportunity to see crypto for what it can really bring to you.
Right on. And on that note, give us a high-level overview of what AniFi World is and what gamers can expect from a free-to-play and play-to-earn ecosystem.
So the main thing, as most people probably know, with play-to-earn games is the play-to-earn aspect ends up seriously devaluing and sometimes even killing, its main token. So we wanted to come up with a way to kind of combat that. We're really into like the gacha style system and art. And so Porus came up with this idea to what if we could offer enough rewards to where players are incentivized to keep earning and playing every day, but not so much rewards to where it ends up eating the token alive from the inside out. So what we developed was, everybody's heard of, oracles and how those are used to disperse rewards. We did a slightly different take. It's a smart oracle system. And so the way it works is we can set a certain max dollar amount for rewards per day across the entire game. So no matter who plays it, let's just say, for instance, we set the maximum distributable rewards at $1,000 in BUSD value. The rewards are not given in BUSD, but with the Smart Oracle, you set it to a specific BUSD value, and then the rewards are given out in AniFi. So if, over any given 24-hour period, if that $1,000 threshold isn't met, then whoever earned during that period would get the exact dollar amount that it says they earned. However, if it does go over 1,000, so let's say one day the combined total earnings are $2,000, and we have the Smart Oracle set at 1,000. Instead of getting the exact dollar amount it says you would earn past the threshold, you would actually get whatever percentage of the total reward pool is for that day. So if you earned 10% of the total winnings for that day, and it went to $2,000, 10% of that obviously is 200. However, the smart oracle kicks in, so you would get 10% of the $1,000 of the max available reward for that day. So it kind of works to ensure the longevity of the reward pool for our play to earn games. So we set aside 40 million tokens, 80 million tokens, sorry, 40% of our supply for in-game rewards. And so we can map that out to exactly at least 4 solid years of earnings, in which our reward pool won't run out, it won't devalue our token, and it won't eat the project alive.
Understood. And is it specifically holders that are earning this reward pool, or a portion of this reward pool, or do they have to be actively playing the play to earn game?
So there is more than one way to get rewards. Obviously, the play to earn aspect is huge, and that's what we're really pushing. However, it should be noted that directly on launch, we are going to have staking. So you will have also staking rewards. So we understand that, not everybody is really into games, or not everybody has the time to, really invest daily into the game. We still want to be able to give them rewards for holding, rather than trying to swing trade it and stuff like that. So on launch, we will have staking available, and it will be between 100% and 200% APR, depending on how long you stake. So the shortest period you'll be able to stake for is 15 days. The longest you'll be able to stake for is 90 days. And the way our user interface works, instead of having like different pools and different lock times, it's just going to be a normal, well, similar to like a sliding ruler interface. So the longer you lock your tokens for, the higher that APR will go. So, like I said, we understand that everybody that gets into projects doesn't necessarily want to do play to earn. So we still wanted to have something that encourages people to buy and hold our token.
That's fair, but your focal point is play to earn. And so with that said, based on my research, you guys are a turn-based play to earn card game. You have 6 unique heroes: Iris, Loki, Cain, Venus, Hugo, Artemis. Can you give us a breakdown of each one, their strengths, weaknesses, and their respective characteristics, please?
So I could go into that. However, it's broken down completely on our white paper, and I don't want to accidentally give the wrong attributes to the wrong character. But they are 6 individual unique NFTs. You will be able to mint them in game or in the marketplace. And the Smart Oracle also controls the price action on those NFTs. So basically, like, yet again, we set the price of the NFTs, we set on a BUSD value. So the price per NFT is going to be $10 in BUSD. However, you buy them with AniFi tokens. So similar to how it works with the rewards, if one day AniFi tokens are worth $1 a piece, then you would pay 10 AniFi tokens per NFT to mint. Then the next day, let's say AniFi goes up to $2 a piece. Instead of still paying that 10 AniFi, which would be worth $20 now, you would only pay 5 AniFi. And then within the game, whenever you mint the NFTs, you will have different levels of rarity. So common all the way up into legendary. And you also have levels within each NFT. And the way you can increase levels is by playing the game or buying gems or potions within our NFT marketplace on our website. So each NFT in and of itself is characteristically different. However, if you mint a certain NFT, if you mint an Iris, you can make it pretty much the same as the other NFTs if you get the right mix of potions and gems added to it.
So minting cost is 10 BUC per, and I like how you guys adjust the number of AniFi tokens required if the price goes up or down. I've seen this concept implemented recently, and I think it really does a good job of promoting the economic stability of your ecosystem. Now, I know that you guys have different rarities of NFTs, and so with the minting cost being the same, how was it decided? Like, what percentage chance you have to mint a uncommon versus a common versus a rare, epic, and legend?
Common, I believe you have about a 65% chance of minting, and then it just goes all the way up. to epic and legendary, which those are obviously going to be the extremely rare ones that only have between like a 1 and 10% chance of minting. The minting is completely random though. It's all computer generated. So it's not, if somebody comes to us and they're like, hey man, can I just pay you some extra money and you can mint me a legendary or an epic? There's no way for us to do that. And even if there was, like, we wouldn't want to do it, because I think part of the game and part of the fun is minting those NFTs to see what you can get. And even if you get a lower level, if you get a common, like I said, you can increase its XP, its stamina, its attack through those gems and potions.
And from what I understand, if you mint a common hero, the total attribute points are 20. It means that I'm not sure how you're earning with respect to the play to earn game, but what would be the total attributes for a legend NFT?
It would be over 50.
Over 50. And how exactly, comparing 20 and 50, how exactly are you earning within the game? How does it scale?
So the earnings go up the higher levels that you could complete. So basically there will come a point to where if you just have 5 common NFTs and you select 3 of them to complete a stage, there will come a point in time in the game to where you won't be able to pass a certain level or a certain stage without increasing certain attributes to those NFTs. So right now we have, because I think kind of a next question some people are going to be asking is, how long does it take to make back my initial investment? And so right now we've mapped it out right out of the gate, about 45 to 60 days to make back your initial investment. But then once you get past that point, because you will be in those higher levels, those higher stages that are earning more, that aren't just worth a few, $5, $10, it could be worth $20 or $30 a stage, then it really starts to kick in and increase.
Understood. And I went through the different statuses and how each one, strength, agility, vitality, intellect, affect your heroes within the game. I would encourage audience members to go and check out the white paper. I'm not going to make you explain all that. I do have some questions about the leveling. I know that the max hero level is 40. And so can you go into detail about how your leveling system works and how many hours of gameplay it would take for the average player to reach level cap?
Yeah. So right now, as it stands, the highest level is 40 per NFT. However, that could increase in the future, depending on how quick players play the game and are able to get through the stages to attain that rank. The way you move up in rank is by developing and building XP by completing stages and levels, but then also by adding those gems and potions that can increase the rate at which you beat a particular stage or level. So it's similar to, how would I say? Like, in Call of Duty, how you can level up and get to certain level prestiges by doing certain requirements. They kind of come through gameplay. Like, yeah, sure, some people will single out a specific mission so that they can, level up in prestige or something like that. It's similar to that. So these are things that will happen throughout gameplay. However, if you did want to speed up that process, you could through the gems and potions, because that would increase the rate at which you could defeat and complete certain stages.
And you've mentioned gems, potions, and boosters a couple times. Can you explain a bit more about what each does respectively and how those are earned in game?
Yeah, so there's different gems and different potions that affect things such as like speed, stamina, defense, attack. And these are things that you can add on to your NFTs to increase the effectiveness within a certain stage. So, some stages you might need more stamina. It might be a longer stage. And so instead of, building your entire team that's just straight up attack, you will need certain NFTs that have longer lasting stamina so that you can get through the stage without running out of HP and XP. So as you play the game, you will kind of see what the stages require. And pretty soon, the more you play the game, there'll be some people that come into the chat and they're like, hey, look, I'm at stage 3. I don't know how to do this. I'm stuck. And so, that's whenever other people in the community that have beat it, they can say, hey, look, this is exactly what you need. And that kind of brings up another point to, we aren't opposed to people in our community swapping and trading NFTs with each other, if that's something that they want to do. So
Sure.
if there's a certain NFT that is exceptionally well at a specific level, and person A just doesn't have the time to farm their characters to get it there, then they could buy it from person B.
Understood. And are these one-time uses, or are they permanently fused with each of your NFTs?
No, these are permanently fused with them, and also too, I think some GameFi games, you have a chance at losing your NFT, losing your players or attributes. With AniFi, we don't want to take anything from the investor. Like, we think once you mint it, once you buy it, once you own it, you should have it forever. So even if you lose a certain stage, you won't lose your NFT. Like, yeah, the XP and HP will go down to 0 and you'll have to restart it, but the NFT itself will still be there. So there's no way to lose in our game. There's only possible ways to either remain neutral or gain in our game.
And once you hit max level with a hero or with your team of heroes, then what, right? Can you go back and replay levels and earn more that scales based on your level?
You could, however, those lower levels aren't going to be, by the time you get to level 40 and you're kind of maxed out, those lower levels comparatively to what you're used to earning aren't going to be worth that much to you anymore. So, could you? Yes, if that's something people want to do, but also in the future, past this kind of story stage mode saga, we will have multiplayer and PvP, so player versus player, and also being able to join up with other users. So if Noah, if you had a set of NFTs and I did too, and we wanted to kind of work together to defeat a certain stage, then we would be able to do that in the future. But off the start, it's just going to be these stages and level play, and then later on, multiplayer and PvP is going to be added.
That makes sense. So, but I guess before you guys increase the level cap and before the implementation of PvP, would a level 40 team just be repeating the same final level for? Are they going to be able to continue? So are you going to be able to repeat the final level and earn, or once you complete it, you cannot earn anymore? How does that work?
So once you complete it on that with those specific NFT, or I guess more importantly, once you complete it with that specific wallet, you would just have to wait until we came out with the PvP or multiplayer. However, I mean, technically speaking, you could transfer those NFTs to another wallet and then start over at the beginning. So the NFTs would remain the same level, but if you use a fresh wallet, then you would start at the beginning and be able to work your way through, those levels the exact same way you did the first time. However, your team, you pretty much have the best team possible, so you would be able to go through those levels fairly quick.
Understood. And you'd be earning through those levels as well.
Correct. Yes, sir. And another thing that I forgot to mention is there will be a max level of stages. I think right now we're going to at 5. Somebody just came in with a call. Can y'all hear me still?
Yes, we can. You got it. You got a little choppy there for a second, but I can hear you.
Yeah. So one of the things that I forgot to mention is that there will be a max stage cap per day. Right now we're going to set it at 5 and kind of see how the community feels with that. If they're gung-ho and they really want to play more stages, we could increase that limit, but then also kind of what I just touched on too, that max stage per day, that limit, that cap is going to be per wallet. So if you have multiple wallets with multiple NFTs or multiple wallets and you just want to move your NFTs around the other wallets, that's something that you would be able to do in order to increase your daily earnings for the day.
Got it. And what can players expect? You said that in the multiplayer, you and I could team up on a level or on levels, but what can players expect from PvP? What's that structure going to look like?
So that's going to be strictly based on each NFT's attributes. So, right now, the way we're thinking about doing it is just one-on-one. So not just person versus person, but one NFT versus another NFT, and it would kind of be like a card turn game. But as we develop it further, if our community wants to have multiple NFTs at a time fighting against each other, then that's something we can add. One of the big things I think that a lot of projects might overlook is the value of their community, and especially within P2E gaming. We want to develop and bring to market a product that our consumers want and prospective consumers would like to try out and play. So anytime we're going to be making large changes or large moves after launch, we are going to put it to the community and say, hey, what do y'all think about this? Or do y'all want to see us try something else? And, within reason, if the community says something, like, oh, well, I think we should burn 99% of the total supply, like something like that, we aren't going to follow. But, within reason, especially as it surrounds to gameplay, game type within our P2E game, we can make it happen with the team that we have.
I see a lot of inspiration from Axie Origins, whether it's the different levels, having 3 waves per level, how you don't regain your HP per wave, and runes and gems. I mean, there are a lot of parallels. So I'm curious to know how much of this is inspired by Axie Origins, and also what are you guys doing different? Like, what are some things that you don't like about Axie Origins that you guys think you're doing better?
So I don't really want to put down Axie Origins or any other projects or P2E, but the main thing that separates us is that smart Oracle reward system. The fact that we can map out exactly how long our rewards are going to last, so we can see and make adjustments on the fly. If not enough people are playing the game because they feel like it's not profitable, then we can increase the rewards. Or if we feel like we're going through the reward supply too fast, then we can decrease the rewards. But Axie Infinity, I mean, they're absolutely massive. So I think everybody just like how everybody in crypto kind of looks up to Bitcoin, whether you trade it or not, everybody knows about it and has heard about it. And so I think that's kind of how, to a certain level, everybody in the P2E realm kind of looks up to Axie Infinity. So the main thing that we're doing different is how we distribute rewards to the holders to ensure the longevity of the project.
We skipped over, or rather might have touched upon, the gacha system, and I wanted you to break it down for us a bit before we move on to tokenomics, marketplace, all that stuff. But from what I understand, oftentimes people are going to be minting duplicate heroes, and you guys have found a way to not make these duplicates redundant. Give us some more insight into the kind of mechanism you've designed to allow players to merge heroes and kind of fuse them together to upgrade them and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so it's similar. Like, I'm trying to think of a real world application that I could kind of use to explain this. But basically, if there are going to be people who mint 2 of the exact or very same NFTs, and instead of just having one NFT sit around that they aren't really using, one, they could sell it on the marketplace or trade it within the community, or they can combine the NFTs to make a stronger hero. And so I kind of think similar to what Bored Ape, their NFTs have done with the serums and how it turns into a mutant ape. There'll be certain ways that you can combine your NFTs that you will only be able to do through that gacha system, and combining them together to make not a unique NFT per se, but have attributes that you can only form through combining 1 or 2 or 3 NFTs.
Mm-hmm. And at a high level, tell us about the marketplace. Is it going to be solely for the world of AniFi, or can you see other play-to-earn games utilizing this in the future?
That's if we're never opposed to reaching out with other projects. If they would like to use our marketplace, we would be more than happy to talk with them and help them out with it and include them on our marketplace. I think right off the bat, as the world is kind of starting to learn and hear about AniFi World, projects might be kind of, I don't want to say wavering, but they might be apprehensive to use our marketplace. But once we are live with it and people see the security of it, I think other projects will reach out and say, hey, look, you know, this is the product we have. We would like to use your marketplace. And then at that point, we would sit down, write out some contracts, get, you know, the legal side of things taken care of, and then put them on the marketplace.
Right on. So moving to tokenomics, we've talked a bit about the AniFi token. This is what players are going to be earning. This is what you guys are going to allow stakers to stake. And it basically is running your ecosystem. But give us the tokenomics, but more importantly, some other utilities with respect to the ecosystem that we haven't discussed yet.
Oh, yeah. So as far as tokenomics go, I can go over the distribution. The distribution is, I wouldn't say it's at length, but there are pretty much everything from our private seed and angel rounds to our pre-sale is going to be vested. So, you know, I think especially recently, people have been very apprehensive with pre-sales just because so many have just been bought and then dumped at like 2, 3, 4x because people are, you know, they're looking for that quick buck. So like with our private seed fundraising, they're only going to have access to 20%. And they knew this. Like we told them going in, this is exactly how we plan to do it. We explained to them why, and they were perfectly fine with it. But they're only going to have 20% of their tokens on launch day. The rest are going to be given to them in pieces 30 days at a time. For pre-sale, you're going to get 50% on launch day, and then you'll get 25% after 30 days, your other 25% after 60 days. As far as other use cases, other than obviously the in-game rewards and our staking rewards, we will also put in place and implement a DAO voting system. You know, so similar to like what we were talking about earlier, Noah, where I said we value and we know our greatest asset is our community. That DAO system is going to actually like make it official. So it's not just something, you know, like a Telegram poll, because we all know Telegram polls, you know, you could swing one way or the other with a couple $100 by just getting a bunch of bots in there and telling them to vote a certain thing. But if you attach one vote per token that the holders hold, then that kind of changes the game. It makes it more official, and it can nudge the project in the right direction, in my opinion.
And I will make one comment on the tokenomics. I appreciate that you guys have a 0 buy tax and a very small 2% sell tax. Some of these projects have just egregious buy sell taxes to the point where you're like, I mean, I can't even take profit if I want to, because it's going to chunk 20% of what I'm going to sell. So kudos to you guys on that.
Yeah, and just to touch on that real quick, Noah, I'm in 100% agreement with you that I think, you know, some of these tokens that got 10% buy and 10% sell, like that's 20% right there. And as I was going over earlier, at the end of the day, like we want our investors to keep more of their hard-earned money. So what that looks like to us is 0% buy tax, 2% sell tax. You know, could we make some egregious? I mean, I think even like 7 or 8% on each side is pretty high. And some people have said,
agreed.
You know, well, some people have said, you know, well, why don't you do like 5 buy and 5 sell, and you can have, you know, 3% go to the team and 2% go to marketing. And we've just straight up told them, like, the team doesn't need a bunch of money. We have our marketing taken care of. We have everything in place to really take this project to the next level. So why not allow our investors to keep more of their money? So that's why we decided to do the 0% buy and 2% sell.
Sure. And I couldn't agree with you more. I think even like 7 to 10% tax on either side is too much. I think people are starting to diverge away from these sorts of projects and structures. So you guys also have a land system and a guild system coming up, and I think that's really interesting. I would love for you to share some more insight into both of those, please.
So obviously the land system would be kind of similar to the gameplay, just taken more offline. That will go towards that's going to be geared more towards player versus player. But that obviously it would require you to be able or to be in close proximity to somebody else playing the game. So that's something that we have that our team has discussed, and it is in our roadmap. So we are going to do it. However, right now we are focused on the beta testing and getting this play to earn to market as soon as possible. And the thing is, we could launch our game at the day that we start on September 2nd. However, it turns out we're going to launch it about 2 weeks after, just to make sure that everything can be stress tested, all the security can be checked, because the last thing we want to happen is have our game go live and have our reward pool attached to it, and then have somebody be able to either exploit gameplay or exploit the reward pool. That wouldn't turn out good for anyone.
Yeah. Steady Hands, another question on your roadmap, and this one excites me the most. You guys have a scholarship system coming, and one of the things that I wish Axie Infinity and Axie Origins had implemented early on was a structure for managers and scholarship programs, and they still haven't really implemented anything like that, even though that is such a huge driver of their economy, or rather such a huge catalyst to their success. So curious to know, and I know that you might not have too much information yet, but curious to know how you guys are planning on implementing a scholarship system. Obviously, your ecosystem is going to be manager scholar friendly. So would love to hear your thoughts more about that, please.
Yeah, so the scholarship system, it is going to be community driven. Obviously, there would be an application process for people. We haven't, certain people want us to say you have to hold a certain amount of AniFi in order to even qualify to write in an application. I kind of lean against that, simply because, like, if somebody wants to learn and they just don't have the resources, like, I don't think there shouldn't be any barrier to entry, in my opinion, especially when it surrounds the scholarship aspect of it. So it is something that we will include, that we are going to help the community out with. It'll just be a fairly straightforward application process. Then we as the team will get in and sort through the applicants and then make decisions based on that. But it would even go, it's going to go beyond our game, into the entire ecosystem and probably into the entire BSC side. So if you do end up winning one of these scholarships, we aren't only going to teach you, the ins and outs of how our game and how our project works, but you're going to learn, even the basics of crypto, possibly even some Solidity classes and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, I think an educated populace is a good populace. So the more people that we can teach, not only about our game, but about crypto in general, the better it is.
Right on. So I have some community questions here, and I'm going to read them off for you. If anyone wants to ask as well on the mic, you're more than welcome to. But first one is, will there be any practice mode available in the game where players can try different strategies and determine the pros and cons of their strategies?
No, you just got to go straight into the lines, Sam. Good luck, Sam. No, I'm just kidding. So there will be practice modes. There's also, if you can't, get in with a full NFT set, there is going to be a mode where we will give you 3 NFTs to kind of play around in the game. You wouldn't be able to earn money like that, but you will be able to experience the gameplay. And honestly, I don't want to say it because there's 340 people in here, but if there wasn't 340 people in here and a couple people just couldn't afford to play the game, but they're really interested in it, I would tell them after our game is live, they could DM me and I could work something out with them. But I'm not going to say that because there's so many people in here, But yeah, there will be a demo type mode, and it'll be with a smaller team of NFTs that we provide to you.
Fantastic. So second question from the audience. As I read, players can train characters to sell in the marketplace. So will there be a variation in the maximum limit for each NFT character that can be upgraded to a certain level? And how will the prices of those trained characters be determined?
Yes. So, we touched on it earlier, Noah. The highest level attainable for any single NFT is going to be 40 for the time being. If we wake up a month after the game is live and everybody has level 40 characters, I don't see that happening, but it could. then we could obviously increase the levels to go higher than 40. But as far as what the cost would be, that's going to be straight up dependent upon the community. At that point, it becomes more of a supply and demand thing. It wouldn't be something that the team determines the price on. It would be something that the community determines the price on. So it's similar to how NFTs are sold on OpenSea. If somebody wants to, list an NFT for way below 20, 30, 40% below market value, it'll get swapped up instantly. Or if people want to kind of create a price floor for certain levels, that can also go into effect. So as far as price controlling other people's NFT, NFTs that you hold or that you've leveled up that you want to sell on the marketplace, we will not instigate any price controls from our end.
So we touched on this before, but audience member wants to know, is the only way to repeat a level to transfer your heroes from one wallet to another?
Like, so let's just throw out a random number like level 10. So he wants to replay level 10.
Yeah. So I mean, earlier Steady Hands, you and I discussed that once you hit the max level 40, you can't really go back and repeat levels. The only way you can do that is by transferring heroes from one wallet to another, and then you can repeat those levels, and it would make them a lot easier. So audience member wants to know if that is the only way to repeat levels.
So you could go back with the same wallet and do it. However, you wouldn't earn the reward for that stage. So if it's strictly, a desire to interact and play the game, yes, you would be able to do that. I just kind of took, because we're talking about play to earn, not just play to play. Whenever we were discussing earlier, my mind instantly went to, okay, he's asking how can we replay a level to earn again. But yeah, you'll be able to go back and replay a level with the same wallet and everything. That being said, all we have is a buy and a sell tax. We don't have a transfer tax.
Right on.
So if you if you create a new wallet and transfer your NFTs over there, you aren't going to be penalized for that.
Mm-hmm. Next question from the audience is: will all hero rarities be able to will all rarity of heroes be able to reach level 40, or will only certain rarities have the option of reaching that high of a level?
No, all of them will be able to reach that level. It's just going to take obviously a lot longer, a lot more time, and probably money invested into a common to get it to that epic or legendary level 40 status. So any NFT, if you play with it long enough and use it long enough, and add certain potions and gems, you will be able to attain that highest level possible. It's just a bit more intensive than if you happen to luck out and get a legendary or an epic right off of mint.
Is there a max number of times every 24-hour period where a player can have the opportunity of beating a level, right? Can you spam the same level 100 times so you beat it?
So obviously once you beat the level once with a particular wallet, you won't be able to earn on that level again. And the only other limitations that we have is that daily limit of levels or stages, which is going to be 5.
Got it.
But other than that, but then once again, Noah, you could take your NFTs, you could transfer it to another wallet. So the level of stages, that cap per day is going to be the only way that you can implement that is per wallet. So you can't limit it to a specific NFT. You can only limit it to a specific wallet. So if somebody wanted to play 10 stages, they could play 5 stages, transfer the NFTs to another wallet, play 5 more stages.
It makes sense. Next audience question. This member wants to know if we are able to mix up different potions and create new powerful potions.
That's actually a really good idea. That's one thing I like about AMAs, especially ones with larger communities like Whale Coin Talk. That's something that we haven't thought of. However, if that's something that the community wants us to do, that would be something that we're able to implement. And I kind of like that idea. So after we're done here, I'm going to talk with Forrest. I'm going to talk with DTC and see if we can't get started working on that, because I like that idea.
Right on. Steady Hands, Tell me about your partnership program. And audience members, I'm going to ask a few more questions. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to raise your hands, or feel free to message those to me and I can ask them for you. But tell me about the partnership program and what you guys look for in prospective business relationships.
So as far as partnerships are concerned, we're looking for something that is going to be mutually beneficial to both parties. Obviously help other projects get exposure to them through our P2E gaming platform, and then have other projects give us exposure, whether that's through social media or through their own marketplace, through their own communities. So right now we have partnerships with not only venture capital firms, but certain Twitter influencers. Our biggest partnerships, are with the DTC group, which is they take care of all of our marketing, and then Gympad. And Gympad is the launch pad that we are going to do our pre-sale on. So they've been extremely, extremely helpful to us in this state. And even after pre-sale through launch, they will be with us all the way. So really, I think every good partnership, there's some give and some take by both parties involved. And so that's what we look for. And we know that not everybody is going to fit our partnership needs. That being said, we will still look into any partnership, I guess, applications that come our way.
Awesome. And I'm glad you mentioned the pre-sale. I want to circle back to that. The angel round and the private sale have already happened, correct?
Yes, sir. Correct. Those are done. The
Got it.
next thing is that pre-sale on August 31st.
Got it. Pre-sale, aka public sale. And audience members, if you're wondering, the angel round is 7.5% TGE linearly over 12 months. The private sale is 20% TGE linearly over 8 months. I'm twisting my tongue here. And the public is 50% TGE, and that is then unlocking 25% per month. Let's talk about, first, let me ask you this, steady hands. With the angel round and the private sale, what was the maximum contribution per wallet for each respectively?
The angel round was 1,800. The private sale was 1,200.
Got it. And for the public sale, what is going to be the maximum and minimum contributions per wallet?
It is going to be 100 and 800. And just so you know, I wasn't talking about BNB. That was in BUSD value because
I put two and two together.
yeah, minimum contribution is 100 BNB, max is 800 BNB. No, everything, just like our Smart Oracle, everything in our project is going to be paired and attached to BUSD, not BNB. For one obvious reason, as everybody knows, I am a big investor in BNB. I have a large bag in BNB. However, there's some mornings when I wake up and I kind of look at it and I'm like, oh, this is not good. So because it fluctuates so much and it doesn't work as well with the Smart Oracle, we just decided to use a BUSD AniFi pair. So
I like that.
Our pre-sale, it's going to be, the minimum contribution is $100. The maximum contribution is $800. And, I understand some people are going to be like, oh, okay, well, does that mean I got to change my BNB for BUSD for the pre-sale? Yes. However, once we're live and you buy AniFi World on PancakeSwap, you'll still be able to buy it with BNB. It'll just be a multi-hop transaction. It'll sell the BNB for BUSD and then BUSD for AniFi World.
Got it. Last question on the distribution for the angel round, the private sale, and the public sale. What amount of AniFi are we getting per BUSD?
Let me pull this up on Gympad real quick because I want to give you the accurate information.
Sweet.
Give me just a minute. And if you
worries.
want, you can ask another question as I can kind of talk about some other things too.
Yeah, of course. Let me ask you this, steady hands. Is there anything that I haven't asked about so far that you want to share with us?
So one of the things that we have gotten questions about, obviously, because we're such a low tax token, people are asking, what our angle is. Like there has to be some way that the team is going to personally benefit off of this project. And so one of the things that, a lot of people first ask is, what happens to the AniFi that you buy NFTs with, that you mint NFTs with, right?
Ooh,
because that is going to be, it's going to be a fairly high dollar value in AniFi. And so what we decided is on launch, it's going to be about a 90-10 split. 90% is going to go directly into the reward pool for the game, and then 10% is going to be used for the team and marketing. But shortly after launch, we want to move that down to zero, to where it's just 100% goes directly back into the gaming reward pool. So basically, the people that are buying the NFTs and participating in the game, the money that they use to mint the NFTs will eventually be given back as rewards to them.
I love that. And have you guys thought about expanding your ecosystem to other chains in the future? Or do you prefer to just stay strictly on BSC?
So, I think you're kind of alluding. I think some P2E games use Polygon. Fun fact, I was looking the other day and Avalanche actually flipped Polygon, that took me by surprise. Right now, we're going to focus on BSC. Porous can easily write up a bridge contract if we wanted to go to something like Polygon. I don't think that we would make a bridge for ETH unless, some people we know on the ETH side, if they're really interested in strictly investing. But as far as like P2E games go, it's hard to do with an ERC token because the gas fees come into play. So keeping it on the BSC keeps those gas fees and transaction fees minimal, so that our investors and our family get to keep more of their money.
Steady hands, I'm going to ask one more time. If there's anything at all that I haven't asked, please do share with us. I feel like we've covered most, and I got some audience questions in, but feel free to take the mic and share with us whatever you might want.
Yeah, and like sometimes whenever I'm doing these AMAs, I'm like, man, do I share too quick? Because I see, some AMAs last like an hour and a half, 2 hours. But like I guess I just kind of get straight to the point. I'm trying to think another couple things. So in working with the DTC group, we are pre-listed on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko, so you can search for us. We obviously aren't tracked right now because we aren't live. However, on launch, those both will auto-populate. So a lot of people will come in and they'll say, win CMC, win CG, win this, win that. And if you go into our chat and into our pinned messages, like you can see proof that, yes, we have been pre-listed on both CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. So that adds to the credibility of the project. Also, if y'all want to know who Porous is, the founder and CEO, he is not only publicly doxed on our website, but he's also done interviews. If he was here right now, it's like 6 a.m. in Thailand. If he was here, he'd be able to explain to you who all he's done interviews with, regarding crypto specifically in Thailand and that scene. He doesn't like to talk about it much because he's kind of a humble guy, but I kind of force it out of him. So, if you're concerned about security, he is publicly doxed, and he's readily and fairly available to anybody who has questions, not only about AniFi, but just about Solidity in general.
Let me ask you this. How many developers have been working on this game? And do they have prior experience building video games?
Correct. So our GameFi team, specifically the gaming aspect of it, and then we have the graphics aspect of it. The gaming aspect of it, I believe there are 3 main people. These are going to be people that Porous knows, like in real life, and he sits down with them and goes over the game. As far as the Smart Oracle and the main contracts, everything like that was all done by me and Porous.
Got it. Well, Steady Hands, it's been a pleasure having you on today. I think that you guys are definitely doing something different and unique within the player and ecosystem. I think the Oracle is very interesting. It's the second time I've seen this Oracle tech being implemented. And I think it's an important element for economic sustainability token, your economic sustainability rather. So before you go, for audience members that are just joining in, for people that might have not been listening the whole time, give us a quick summary of who you are, what AniFi World is, and why people should at least come and try the free version of your play to earn game.
Yes, I appreciate that, Noah. Once again, I am the world famous Steady Hands. I'm not famous at all. But AniFi World is a play to earn game that's similar, to other, I guess, Eastern style cartoons and comics and gacha systems. The thing that makes AniFi World different, similar to Axie Infinity, like Noah was saying earlier, we have stages with different waves in each stage. However, our reward system is different. The problem we see and continue to see in the play to earn gaming ecosystems is that the game itself, the rewards end up devaluing or eating the token from the inside out. So they make this great game, this great project, solid community, everything like that. But the rewards end up getting too much and people start selling these rewards. And so it ends up collapsing on itself. So we wanted to fix that problem. And the way that we did fix that problem, or we think, obviously we're going to see after launch, but we believe once we launch this smart oracle, pretty much all P2E games are kind of going to lean towards it because it limits the maximum amount of rewards per day that players can win in the game. So that also means like you can figure out and map out exactly how long your game will last or your reward pool in the game will last before you need to add more tokens into it. So it's not going to be something that eats itself from the inside out. It is not going to devalue the token, but it will provide a sense of sustainability, and it will offer high enough rewards for people who are interested to stay interested and continue to earn those rewards. And we understand not everybody has the time, not everybody has the money to get invested and started. However, I do encourage y'all when our demo comes out, at least give it a shot, with the 3 free NFTs. And whenever you do, if there's something you really like, come into our chat and let us know. And if there's something that you think should be changed or you would like to see us implement, come into our main chat and let us know so that I can talk with our game techs and we can make those changes accordingly. Because at the end of the day, as I said earlier, we want to bring a solid product to market that the market is wanting. So we're going to listen to y'all because at the end of the day, y'all are our main consumer base, and we know that y'all are our strength. So as long as we listen to the community and deliver on the things that they want, we believe we will be successful. Couple that with the smart oracle that really ensures and solidifies the longevity of the project, we think it's a winning combination. So I look forward to it getting done. But yeah.
Love that, man. I couldn't have wrapped it up better myself. Steady Hands, the world famous Steady Hands, everyone. Thank you so much again for being with us.
Yay. One other thing I just wanted to say was shout out to the Whale Coin Talk community. This community is absolutely massive. We got pretty much 350 people in here right now. I'm always kind of hanging out and around. I don't say a lot in the community, but I see the way that the admins and mods and staff handle themselves. And y'all are able to put these AMAs together. There was a little issue we had this morning. Y'all said, hey, no problem. We'll push the AMA back and we're having it today. And even in their pinned messages right now, they had Alvi in the morning, then they had us, and then they're doing their Twitter spaces with MEXC, that exchange. So, after this in a couple hours, I encourage you, after you come and check out AniFi World for a couple hours, then head over to the Twitter spaces that they're doing with MEXC Global.
Yeah, thank you so much for those kind words. Steady Hands, it means a lot, and it really helps to have such a great speaker. It helps with the flow of the AMA and just makes for an overall amazing broadcast. Definitely, audience members, go and check out AniFi World, and we are having, as Steady Hands said, a Twitter Spaces with Andy from MEXC Global here in about 35 minutes. So tune in for that as well. Remember that everything you hear on Whale Coin Talk is for educational purposes only. We never give financial advice, so always do your own research, invest what you're willing to lose. With that said, I want to thank Steady Hands again for being with us and wish you all the best. Acti, I'm going to pass you the mic. We're going to do wheel spin for the community and then send them on.
Yup. Let's see, I got my big wheel here with everybody. And we're gonna do a bunch of spins today, courtesy of AniFi World. There's gonna be 10 whitelist spots given away to people that participate in this AMA, and we're also doing 2 spins for $50 prizes. So I'm gonna get to shuffling and spinning here. So just bear with me for a couple of minutes here, guys, as I get all your IDs, and after I have them, we'll DM you for your wallets, and we'll get everybody paid and everybody on that juicy white list. And yeah, I hope everybody is gonna take a closer look, because it's a really interesting game. It's a really interesting ecosystem. I know most people, when they think of games, or a lot of people in the crypto space, expect games to be super high-end, AAA, whatever, immersive and all that. But what people don't really understand yet, I feel, is the gamification aspect, and the fact that you are earning money, and the game is not you being there moving a character and doing all this bullshit, but the game of it is actually figuring out what's the best way of earning the most, and what's the best strategy to use maybe against a PvP opponent. And it's maybe more on the math side, I would say, than on the point on their head and click to win. So yeah, the play to earn ecosystems coming around are a little different from the traditional kind of, like mainstream gaming and Twitch rivals and all that big StarCraft events and everything. So I think a lot more people will get familiar with them, and once they'll do that little bit of math, and they'll see those ROIs, and they'll see how it'll keep going, and they'll see how the ecosystem interacts, and how everybody's spending is just fueling the rewards pool, and how all these aspects work together, because it is a massive system. Then yeah, I think a lot more people will get excited. Okay, I've been waffling a bit here. Let me see how many I got. Okay, I think we're halfway there. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 7th. Okay, so 5 more winners. Let me get your ID here. And we do still have the chat locked, guys. So as always, we posted all the links and the chat right there. You're safest just going to the website, is what I tell everybody. Just go to the official website, and then you can find all the links to the socials. You can engage, you can ask questions, you can find somebody to answer any and all of your questions, and take a look at some of the nice visuals. Engage with the community, and just dive a little bit deeper. And I know we're not. There's been some technical talk as well during the AMAs and all that, and we do try to keep it high level, so it's clear and easy to understand for everyone. But if you are more on the technical side, um, I'm sure these guys will be more than happy to answer everything for you and clear it up. They have a pretty solid team there. They know exactly what they're doing, so don't hesitate to engage. And I think that was our last or second last winner. Let me see.
And that's the thing too, Acti. It's still steady hands. I'm still here. Like if
Right
it's
on.
something you're interested in, even if it's not like, I would like to keep my DMs AniFi related, but if you just want to know whether it's about Solidity or Master Chef staking contracts or the Smart Oracle, you can drop me a DM and be like, hey, look, I just want to learn more about this, and I will be more than happy to take time out of my day and explain it.
Well, there you have it, guys. See, yeah, if you're curious about the DeFi space, it's everybody's trying to educate, and education is very hard, and it's not easy. That's why there's no magic pill you can give to someone, and all of a sudden they know everything about crypto and what's happened in the history of the couple of years with the DeFi space. So there's no magic pill. So everybody does need to do their own research, does need to dig deeper, and whether it's just talking to a friend, going online, or DMing DM project owners, which is a little bit extreme, I would say that. So I'd say like keep your DMs, like not to yourselves, but be a little wary. Don't just DM project owners with random questions, right? And yeah, but if you're interested and you want to learn more, definitely go for it. It's still very very early, and yeah, there are a lot of opportunities around the corner everywhere. So yeah, I got all your IDs, guys. Here, we'll DM you for your wallets, and we'll add you to the whitelist, and we'll send the cash prizes. So thank you everybody for coming. This has really been great, and thank you to the AniFi world for coming on, and to Steady Hands for putting on such a nice presentation for us tonight. It's really been great, and thank you Noah for hosting as well. Thank you for coming, everyone.
Thank you, Acti. Amazing. Take care, guys.
Thank you.